Now playing movie reviews in 20 Qs.
Like, hello, good people, and welcome to the podcast, Movie Reviews in 20 Qs. I am your host, Sam Hurley, and I am joined this week, first of all, by Machu Tarao. Now, Machu, stop trying to make inappropriate jokes happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh, they're happening. They'll be happening all the way through this one.
And the other plastic joining me on this is Kahu. How are you, Kahu?
I am great, Sam.
Fuck, I'm done with that shit.
Yep, here with my other two desperate wannabes.
Hey, wait, the fuck are you talking about me? Oh, God damn it. Anywho, we are doing Mean Girls this week. The 2004 comedy film that was written by Tina Fey, starring Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Lacey Chabert, Tina Fey as well, Amy Poehler, and some Meadows. And why are we doing this? Why are we doing this, guys? Why the fuck are we doing Mean Girls?
We just seem to be pretty good at chick flick podcasts for some reason. Yeah, we've got an issue, boys.
What is it? Why do people want us to do it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Okay, so
Is it because we enjoy them, like Kahu says?
Yeah, we might just have to accept it.
Well, that was the thing, guys. We did the Notebook, and Notebook quickly became our most listened episode. And I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. Maybe it's because we proved that Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling are a pair of fucking psychopaths. They shouldn't be with each other.
Yeah.
And that's one of the worst romance films ever, and girls should not be looking to that for romance. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe people fucking hate us. But what I did was I put this out for a vote as to what films we should review, and this one won the vote, like, by a landslide. I think we had 400-something odd votes, and this one had 51%. People want us to do Mean Girls. Not Bridget Jones's Diary, not some other generic chick flick, not some other generic chick flick. This. What do you guys reckon? Excited? Keen? Ready?
Excited.
I'm ready. I won't use any of those other words.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie Mean Girls, we've got to hit you guys with a plot first, just so you guys know what we're talking about, if you're not planning on seeing it, and you want to listen along anyway. So, Kahu, what is the plot of the film Mean Girls?
The plot of Mean Girls. So, teenager Katie Heron, spelled Katie,
Boo, you whore.
played by Lindsay Lohan, was educated in Africa by her scientist parents.
Your mother's chest here.
When her family moves to the suburbs of Illinois, Katie finally gets to experience public school and gets a quick primer on the cruel, tacit laws of popularity that divide her fellow students into tightly knit cliques. She unwittingly finds herself in the good graces of an elite group of cool students dubbed the Plastics. But Katie soon realizes how her shallow group of new friends earned this nickname.
So they're the Plastics.
Yeah.
But they're anything but plastic, eh? They're not fake. That's just who they are. They're just mean bitches. That's what they should have been called. The mean bitches.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it.
They don't have fake tits. They're just legit. They're just legit mean bitches.
It's bizarre. Their group name's actually in the title. They should just read the Mean Girls. But instead, they're called the Plastics. Looking at the reviews for this movie, as we normally do, IMDb have this at 7 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes at 84%, and Metacritic at 66%. But, Machu, what would you give this as a score out of 10,000 protein bars from Sweden?
I'm going quite high here. I'm going 9,300 protein bars from Sweden. I love this film, eh? I enjoy it. This is a good
Wow.
This is a legit chick flick. This one.
Are you fucking
This is
serious?
legit.
You whore.
You're definitely in the girls who eat their feelings group.
Somebody is incredibly hungover and feeling precious, are they?
This is good. Well, I'm going to tell you why in a few moments.
Jeez, what is wrong with him?
Let's just bring it down a notch back to reality.
Yeah, well, what have you got?
I'm going with 5,200 protein bars. I just thought it was a bit kind of meh. I didn't get into it as much as I thought I would from, like, in a bad movie way.
This guy gets it. This guy gets it.
Like we did with the Notebook. I could, talk for hours about everything wrong with that one. But I just thought this was just kind of a bit meh. Maybe it was a bit too close to high school experience. I don't know.
You don't want to give it under 5,000 and then be able to do the shit sandwich where you give a bad thing, good thing, bad thing?
Yeah, I probably could actually, but no, I'll stick with 5,200.
Okay.
If it's under 5,000, that kind of implies it's not worth watching at all.
Yeah.
But this was maybe worth watching once.
I would probably give this about 50 points more than Machu. 9,350. I fucking love this film.
This is a good film, eh?
It's a fucking good film.
Where have you been, Kahu?
Do you have no joy in your life, Kahu?
Yeah, deeper issues, people. No.
I
I'm not saying it was bad.
Let's bully him into raising his
wasn't into
votes.
Yeah. You
Let's
can't
be a
hang out
mean
with
girls.
Kahu. You can only tie up your hair once a week.
Yeah, you need to wear a different jacket.
We wear
this
pink on
podcast.
Wednesdays. You've got to get your score up, Kahu. We can't
Like
serve it.
Regina trying to fit into her clothes. I just wasn't into it.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
You're not the only one. I watched this with Stacey and Spanky, and both of them were like, how the fuck are you enjoying this? I was like, this is so good. Anywho, it's backfired on you, internet. Try and make us watch a shit film, and look what's happened.
Next film they'll get will be something like Die Hard or something. These guys will hate reviewing Die Hard.
Yeah.
It's like-
We would totally hate reviewing Terminator 2, by the way. We haven't done that movie. We'd totally hate
Yeah,
that.
don't
Or
make
Empire
us
Strikes
do
Back.
that. Worst movies ever.
Yeah, don't do those films, please. Or Indiana Jones or one of those sorts of movies. Never make us do that, internet. Anywho, if you haven't heard this podcast before, what we do is we review a movie by asking 20 weird and wonderful questions about it. We start with 10 questions that we all answer. Then we then move into 3 personal questions that we ask of each other. And usually we finish on a listener question, but because we've impromptuly recorded this, we are going to finish on one of our Patreon questions. So, the Jingle Bell Rock, the first question that we ask is the compliment sandwich, which is one thing good, one thing bad, one thing good from this film. Machu, as someone who's got the biggest heart on for it, why don't you tell us about why you're so erect over some mean girls?
Oh, you had me at Jingle Bell Rock, eh? Like the scene, and specifically the moment where they slap the inside of their thighs. And I'm just like, whoa. Yep, that's why I wanted to watch this film. I remembered now. The thing I didn't like about this film, the ending, it was just a bit weird. It was like, what? Is there a moral to the story? It just doesn't seem to be.
Yeah,
They had an opportunity to do something, and they just kept their comedy going. And I guess the other thing I liked about this movie is the actual comedy, like Tina Fey's. Oh, I wrote it.
Yeah.
And it's just bang on. It's like they use. I hate how Americans use slapstick comedy, but this one this one was legit. Like the moment where they have that trust thing where they fall back into the crowd and they push someone in a wheelchair off the back. That was good. Oh, it's hilarious.
My compliment sandwich. So
Shut up.
I was actually talking. I like the groupings that Janice and Damien explained to Katie. We've already been over them already, but there's about 20.
Yeah.
And yeah, if there's one thing this movie does really well, it's the stereotypes. So I enjoyed that. I really didn't like Aaron Samuels. That was just a bit meh.
Was he the love interest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree, but I kind of like the fact that I got. This is showing my true colours here. I like the fact that the focus was on the girls and not on the guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So they made it because normally the girls the
Have
love
you been
interest is
replaced with...
the love interest is normally the dud girl, and he just have
yeah.
to be this sort of dud.
Yeah.
Dude. So yeah, it was a dud, but
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It works for me.
He's just supposed to be.
I've just lost my penis and
a
I've grown a
shallow-
vagina.
This is like the good clone of Machu or something. What's going on here?
Like Aaron Machu's a shallow stereotype. And the last thing I actually really enjoyed were the jungle sequences at the school when there was some kind of conflict going on, and then Katie would start thinking about how that would work.
It's a bit like
back in
Scrubs,
Africa.
eh? It's a bit like Scrubs.
Yeah,
when
it
they
was a bit
jump
like
into these
Scrubs,
scenes.
and the sort of the high schoolers are on all fours trying to attack each other, and
Was it a
Yeah,
rip-off of
great.
Scrubs, or did this happen before Scrubs?
I don't know. Well, we do have a character out of Scrubs.
Fun fact: the janitor, whatever his
True.
name is, Neil somebody,
Neil Janitor, yeah.
Neil Jan-
Janita. Janita.
Neil Flynn.
Neil Flynn, there we go. Yeah, for me, I think Rachel McAdams just absolutely rocks in this role. I also really like Lindsay Lohan's performance, which is probably one of the few times I'll ever say that in existence.
This is their best film she ever
oh,
did,
by
eh?
fucking miles.
Yeah. This shot her to stardom, and then it was a downhill spiral ever since. Eh?
Bit of a free fall.
Yeah, funny.
She jumped out of the plane without a parachute. That one, eh?
Yeah. Funny thing, the other day after watching this, I thought, I wonder what Lindsay Lohan's up to. Google what she was doing. First hit is Lindsay Lohan takes a naked Insta selfie for her birthday last week. So there you go. Things haven't improved.
Good on you, Lilo. Yeah, I mean, but even all like the supporting actors and stuff, like Tim Meadows is great, Tina Fey's great, Amy Poehler's great, Lacey Chabier's great, Amanda Seyfried's great. Like they're all decent performances, and especially Lizzie Kaplan. I love Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, she was the standout, I thought.
Yeah. The bad thing, the story, like much you said, just kind of comes apart in parts. Like, it sort of writes itself into a hole where it's like, where do we go from here? Hey, let's just have some crazy fucking scene that doesn't make any sense. Just jam it in there and hope no one notices. Even still, nitpicking there. The other good thing about this film is, like much you touched on, that the comedy is just so organic and deserved, and it works hard for it, and it's just so well written and well acted that it's just so, I don't know, relatable. Even though I've never been a teenage girl at high school that I know of, but, well, I have dressed up as a teenage girl and gone to high school before, but that was a very
That
weird
was last
day.
week. When he was going to the changing room, and he's been banned from going 50 metres from any child ever since.
I'm not allowed to talk about it before my court date, bro.
Yeah.
No, one year, like, all the guys and girls did a cross-dressing thing for a mufti day.
This is a real story.
No, it is. It's a real story. I've got proof of me being the only one that did it. No, everyone did it.
Yeah, everyone, we're all streaking, Sam.
Yeah,
Dress up like a girl. We're all doing it, Sam. Hey, where is everyone?
I spent a lot of money on therapy trying to forget this shit, bro. But yeah, that's my thing.
Moving on to question number 2. What character do you think is a flat earther?
I mean, it's probably a bit easy, but it's definitely Karen. Not so much that she thinks the world is flat. It's more that it just wouldn't have even come to her of the possibility of the Earth being round.
Yeah.
She's so simple. Even her name is simple. Karen Smith. It's the simplest name. Like we've got Gretchen and Regina or whatever, Regina, and then we've got Karen Smith, the simpleton.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not going to lie, she was first on my list. Second on my list is Gretchen, because Gretchen just seems to want to go along with everything.
Yeah. Hers is a bit of a sad storyline, actually.
Oh, it's
in this
fucking
film.
depressing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
actually like a really nice, genuine person, but she just gets shit on the entire time.
She's just stuck in the orbit of Regina.
Goddamn Regina George.
I've actually got gone with Katie, although she's had a bit of, but she's been homeschooled, so she could be taught anything, Kate. And she's just
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything.
We see her parents have done a pretty shit job on raising her so far and not preparing her for school. So, yeah, true. Anywho, question number 3 there, Kahu.
Question 3, I've been hit with it again. What deep philosophical debate arose in you during this film?
Were the plastics popular, or were they actually losers? Like I didn't get how they were popular. They were like Gretchen. Obviously, she doesn't get any play. Like those guys sort of use her and abuse her, and then you got Karen, who's obviously a loser. So, are they popular? The only reason why they could be popular is that they're rich. That's what I could think of. But actually, they're just kind of rich losers.
True.
What have they got going for them?
Well, I think Regina kind of has that whole kind of aura about her at the high school, and the other two are kind of sucked into that.
My deep philosophical debate is this, like, is there something really special in those Swedish protein bars? Because Rachel McAdams takes a full fucking bust to the body, man, and then a week later she's back at the school dance. That's pretty impressive.
Maybe she is actually plastic.
Oi! My deep philosophical debate is Regina George plastic.
Did she get pushed? Did she get
pushed?
pushed by Katie? Did Katie push
Nah,
her?
she just...
The story's been told
that-
from Katie's point of view.
No, that was in
yeah.
like in her mind.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
pushed her.
Or was that?
Or was it?
Yeah.
Was that the start of Lindsay Lohan's downfall? She's fucking pushing people in front of buses
That's how they do it in the jungle.
where there are no buses.
Push someone in front of an elephant?
Sure, Kahu, sure. Stop trying to make fucking elephant-related injuries happen, Kahu. It's not going to happen.
My debate was my whole high school like this, or did I just not pay attention?
You're just a burnout loser there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I was in that grouping, yeah.
And that moves us over to question number 4, which is the first of our Patreon questions. This question comes courtesy of Dave Baker. Dave is one of our most recent Patreons who also has his own Patreon. On it, he posts a cornucopia of creative content, ranged from pro samples to curated YouTube recommendations, because hashtag beat the algorithm, YouTube video essays to written essays on Medium. Check him out at patreon.com/yourfavorite. And that's the American spelling. It's down in the show notes. Now, what Dave would like to know is which character would have the best social media presence and on what platform?
It's got to be Gretchen on her WikiLeaks page. She's releasing everyone's dirty secrets.
That's a good point. Fuck, that's a good point.
I'm going with Amy Poehler's character, Mrs. George.
The fun mum.
Yeah, the fun mum. I reckon she'd just be photobombing everything, you know? I reckon should have so much social media presence, should just be posting other people's photos.
Giving everyone hard hugs with her super hard boobs.
So she's kind of gone viral for the wrong reason. She's like a background viral character.
Yeah. She's a senior plastic.
I totally went with Rajiv. Rajiv being the... what was it, mathlete or whatever?
Mathlete
head mathlete
/ MC or something.
Yeah, bomb MC. There we go. He's going to be bomb MCing all over Instagram. You know, posting videos. Well, I don't know. How's Instagram work? Do they post videos on Instagram? Probably. YouTube, Twitter, Twitbook. I don't know. He's on one of them. But he's the man. He does a little rap. He's the tits.
He's legit. He only goes for brown girls. He's like
true. Yeah. Yep. He's keeping it real. He's awesome. Okay, question number 5 there, Mitchu.
Right. Question number 5. What film would totally hook up with this film?
I'm going High School Musical because High School Musical is just a G-rated version of this film.
True. That's a good point.
They're just so similar, it's uncanny, apart from all the singing. Actually, probably not the best comparison, but make of it what you will.
I was like, what do Mean Girls go for? Do they go for bad boys? Do they go for nice guys? Nah, it's American Pie. American Pie totally fucked the fucking shit out of it. But yeah, bad boys and nice guys were on my shortlist.
I went with Wedding Crashers because and I was thinking, well, this was kind of like High School Crashers. Then I started thinking, the High School Crashers. This is starting to get into that.
Do I need to put a marker in before
No, I went with Wedding Crashers because we see in the film Regina's a bit older there, and she hooks up with Owen Wilson, and so I mean, I'm guessing this is a part 2, but I think if there was a Mean Girls 2, it could be Wedding Crashers.
Is Rachel McAdams the bride in that film?
Yeah. That's why I went with it.
So released a year later.
Potentially. Question number 6, which is also a Patreon question, comes courtesy of the amazing woman that is Emily Higgins. Emily was recently on the Silence of the Lambs podcast, and she hosts her own podcast called The Tasteless Podcast. On it, she compares 2 films, one that gets an incredible amount of love and everyone praises and thinks is awesome, and another film that she thinks is a bit overlooked and deserves a bit more praise. Now, what would she like to know? Kahu.
What character has probably gone the longest without showering?
I'm going to go with Lindsay Lohan's dad. We talked about him, the janitor out of Scrubs. He's used to living over in Africa and potentially not showering as much as he likes. You know, probably just swims in lakes, stuff like that. Probably gone the longest without showering. He looks like a dirty, dirty man.
Dirty man.
I've gone with Karen Smith.
Yep.
Because even though, she looks pretty good, but she has a problem and with where she gets some problems with her boobs every time that the water starts falling. So I think,
true.
It's like a Karen tingle.
Yeah, the Karen tingle.
She might get like a migraine every time she's in the shower. Or something.
Yeah. So I don't think she's gone. She probably has baths, but I don't think she has showers.
Just like sit-in baths. Yeah, I reckon one of the mathletes.
Yes,
from
anyone in particular.
School.
The girl she battles against. She didn't look like she'd had any sort of hygiene.
Yeah. Felt a bit sorry for her.
Oh,
looked
same.
Like, she'd just done makeup for the first time.
Yeah.
No, any of them.
How do you reckon they casted for her? Did they go,
Yeah.
ugly girls wanted.
That's a good point, eh? Like, I always felt sorry for, like, the fat kid and, like, movies and shit. It's like, casting call, fat kid wanted. Why? So that everyone can take the piss out of you for an entire movie. Oh, cool.
Bald guy wanted.
Hey, you fucking, hey. To look evil, must have beard.
And must have a hateful following.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking more bald guy discrimination. I'm sick of it. Sick of the shit. Anywho, that moves us over to question number 7. Enough of the bald guy hate. What's something in this film that you noticed that you don't think other people immediately noticed?
So we alluded to this earlier, and at the time this movie was released, Rachel McAdams' character Regina is closer in age to her screen mother than she is to Lindsay Lohan.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So at the time, Lindsay Lohan was 18. Rachel McAdams was at 26, the stupidest high schooler in history. And Amy Poehler was 33.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
The thing I noticed is Amy Poehler and Tina Fey are famously best friends, and they were both in this film, but they don't share a scene.
Ah.
There you go.
The thing I noticed, and I mentioned before, I lost my penis and grew a vagina. Well, I'm about to grow some tits by
What are
asking
you?
the mansplaining. There was no mansplaining in this, and they even make a point of it in the gym scene where the principal goes to teach the girls a lesson, and he gets shut down by the first girl he talks to when she talks about having a heavy flow period, and she needs maxi pads, and and he just pulls straight out of there, and he lets the girls sort it out, basically. So that this film's very much focused around that, and they make a big point about not letting guys mansplain away women's problems, and they leave it up to the girls to sort out.
It's almost like it was written by a woman this time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that no one else noted.
Yeah, there you go. Nah, good on you, Machu.
Oh, so question number 8. What quote from this film would you definitely not want to hear after sex?
So from the world's greatest sex ed teacher, Coach Carr, I'm going with, don't have sex because you will get pregnant and die.
I got homeschooled by my mum.
I got, you're too gay to function.
Oh, damn.
No one wants to learn sex ed from their mum. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have that? Did you guys? I got the Where Did I Come From book, but did you guys get any sort of?
I got some tapes. Yeah.
Now, are you talking about like videotapes, or cassette tapes? Are you talking about
Cassette tapes,
are you
cassette
sellotapes,
Cassette tapes.
duct tape?
Cassette tapes. And I've actually got a bit of a theory on this because those clearly didn't work out that well. But I went to a different.
Admitting you don't know how to have sex.
More I didn't learn the lessons. So for my 4th form year at school, I went to another school, which was the year they had their sex ed class. But at the school I went to, they had it the previous year. So I never actually had sex ed class at school. Fun
Holy
fact.
shit!
It's not that hard.
Well, it's not now.
Yeah.
I'm sure back then you were bloody confused. What about you? What did you have?
A friend's mum gave me a film called The Price Tag of Sex. So, so my mum didn't really worry. She had kids when she was young, so she was. but yeah, my friend's parents are quite religious, and they wanted to show us some stuff, and that was one of them.
Is it one of those like massive backfires where they're like, "Hey, we'll tell these kids that like sex is really bad for you and practice abstinence," and then you see it and you're like, "I really want that now."
Oh, that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, that moves us over to question number 9. What is it?
Okay, what character would fart in a public place and just walk off?
Karen.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know what's going on most of the time. Definitely Karen.
Yeah, I don't think she'd pick up those social cues, eh?
Nah, she's got no idea.
I've got Katie again. Really? She's the only liar. She's the only liar in this film. She's the only one that didn't own up to her confess in the gym. So I bet you she would have confessed to a sneaky one that she lets rip in the gym.
She's a bit primal too, so it's like a way of marking her territory.
She has been homeschooled in wild Africa. Like, yeah, true. Yeah. Cool. What about you, Kahu?
I'm just going with Regina because she just gives 0 fucks.
That's true.
She'd just do it and walk off. No, she's done it. No other people are going to suffer. No one of them's going to get blamed for it. Just not care.
I don't know if you guys have eaten a lot of protein bars in your time, but holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
She would be marking territory, bro.
You got to hide. If you got a flatmate that's on protein, you got to hide the toilet paper.
Shit.
I've never lived in a flat where someone uses so much toilet paper than one of my flatmates that was on like protein thick shakes.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Oh, there's no fiber.
We bought a box of 24. We went through in 1 week. And then they're like, nah, we're keeping them in our room now.
Anywho, that moves us over to question number 10, which is, what unusual top 10 list would you guys have this movie on?
I'm going with top 10 movies that give reasons not to homeschool your kids.
Good points. Name another one.
This one's number 1.
Bad Boy Bubby.
Bubble Boy.
Oh, yes. There we go.
I don't know. Any
Texas
others?
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
What about you, Machu?
Top 10 films guaranteed to lose your penis. How
do you lose your penis? It doesn't just go missing.
Wait, have you seen my penis?
You know about it if it went missing.
Okay, top 10 films to watch in the noughties, because I rate this up there as one of the top 10 films coming out in this era.
What else you got on there? Like Giggly,
The Notebook, another of
The Notebook.
Mitch's faves.
Wedding Crashes. Starting to notice a pattern here. I would have this on top 10 list of movies where I can't stand two of the actresses or actors' other things, but I really enjoy them in this film. Because I don't enjoy many other Rachel McAdams films. Like we talk about The Notebook, Wedding Crashes, yeah, it's okay. But there's not really, About Time's pretty good. And Lindsay Lohan, man, like, fuck. There's nothing else that I could name of Lindsay Lohan's that I would watch ever again.
What about Machete?
Machete, yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. You two can fuck off. God damn it! I had a good point there for a while. That moves us over to the personal questions. Who we got up first?
Okay, so my first question 11. Karen's breasts tell her when it's raining. So, which of your guys' body parts tell you when it's raining?
My eyes. I look out, I'm like, yes, rain.
Can you see rain though?
Yes. Yes, you fucking can.
Fair enough.
Are we going literal here? My ears. I can hear it when it's raining.
That backfired, didn't it?
You guys are boring. That was a downer. Question 12. How did Regina and the projectionist meet? Because this movie's all about the different cliques at the school, and these two feel like they're on different sides of the fence, so to speak.
Yeah, I reckon she saw him wandering along with his projection and thought, woo, this guy's like a film director or something. And then went up to him and said, hey, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm the guy that directed Blair Witch Project. And she's like, oh, I want to hook up with you. And that was it.
Yeah, and he's just spun that story along. Yeah, good one.
Either that or he's like a Swedish film director, because Swedish films are like way better for you.
He gives her free protein bars.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
I reckon Regina's family had a bit of problems with going into bankruptcy, and to make some money, she took up an ad in the paper that said models wanted. Come to the back room and the projection room.
That's dark, man. Okay, question 13. Instead of replacing face cream with foot cream, as Katie hilariously does to Regina, what would you use?
Who's going to go first on this one? No, look, if you're going to get back at one of your enemies, I've done this before. Not on my face.
He's done it before.
I haven't rubbed this all over my face, but I have rubbed this all over my skull. See, I was standing in the locker room at rugby. I was massaging the inside of my thigh with a whole bunch of deep heat, and then the room was incredibly sweaty, so I wiped the sweat from my head, completely forgetting that my hands were covered in deep heat. I took about 5 steps out of the locker room changing rooms and just started running across the field when it hit me like I'd been zapped by fucking lightning.
Oh, yeah.
Entire head was burning. I looked like this giant tomato-headed boy.
Oh, it's like Vicks vapor rub, and you accidentally wipe your eyes. And it's like,
I've done that. I've done that also, but I've actually gone to the toilet straight after, putting deep heat into my leg. Yeah, that was the worst pain I'd ever felt. I barely made the field. I barely got on the field after rubbing deep heat into my leg before a game of rugby and then taking a slash.
Don't take so long in the toilet, Machi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I'm a grower, not a shower.
I was just cleaning it before the rugby game.
Got to get it growing first. I just said thrush cream.
Fresh cream.
That would be disgusting.
Resounding silence from me and Co. What do you got next,
why
Co?
do you have that?
Yeah, you don't have that? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
Is that not a real thing?
So that's it for my questions.
Okay, that moves me on to my set of questions. So, in this film, Katie fakes being shit at maths in order to spend more time with the love interest, which is the guy in front of her, and she gets him to tutor her, even though he's absolutely terrible. What about you guys? Have you guys ever faked being really bad at something in order to impress someone or not make them feel bad?
I just really didn't get the faked part of this question. I'm just sort of generally bad. And it doesn't impress anybody.
It's valid. Very true. That's a true point.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever faked being bad at something. Isn't the opposite when you're trying to impress someone? You'd fake being good at something.
Okay, well, so let's reverse it. Let's reverse the question. Have you guys ever faked being really good at something and then later had it backfire?
I faked being good at everything. Oh, yeah, I can fix your car. I've never fixed anything in my life. Yeah, I'm real good at growing stuff. I can't even grow weeds in the garden.
Good point. What about you, Carl? You ever faked being really good at something, but you're actually shit?
And this is a planning thing, so feel free to completely switch off. I was talking to somebody about electronic plans, and I was like, oh yeah, man, use PDFs all the time. And they were on about like this big interactive thing about how it was so cool, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just not anywhere near as advanced as you, and that just completely backfired.
Yeah. Well, the worst one I ever did was fake being good at playing the guitar. And I can play one chord.
You get found out pretty quickly on the guitar, bro.
It's the speed at which a guitar appears when you say you're good at playing guitars is it happens. It happened in about 2 seconds flat. I just remember going, yeah, I can play a little bit. Yeah, and acting sort of cool. I can play guitar. Here's a guitar. Fuck.
You need to listen when it comes to shit like that, eh? It's like saying you can speak another language or fucking know how to play guitar. Usually the only reason why people are asking is because that shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
I had that as well, where I was like bragging away to all these people about how I learned French at school and still remember it. We were in the French Alps, then we went out and the guy was like, they were like, oh, go order our like drinks for us since you can speak like French and shit. And I was like, bonjour, where is the bus station? He's just looking at me like, what? I was like, I would like to buy the house. I was like, I've run out of French words.
The things people think I'm good at is playing the guitar and singing, and I can't hold a note to save my life.
And you sing like an amputee. You can't carry a note.
That's a recurring nightmare I have, of being on American Idol or something. And I'm up on stage and I manage to like make sure I'm at the back of the queue to perform, and then it's just, holy shit, can't sing. Can't perform anything.
Anywho, we are just being rained on. So if you notice that in the background, this is just not the sound of us crying over this fucking amazing film. It's just rain. So my next question is, which girl from this film do you guys reckon would have won the Hunger Games?
I think Janice. I think she's pretty adaptable and should be pretty kick-ass.
Interesting. Wrong, but interesting.
I thought one of the girls that hooked up with Coach, what's his name?
Coach Carr.
Coach Carr.
One of the hot Asians.
Yeah, one of the hot Asians. I didn't know their names. Yeah, the main one. I thought she's pretty feisty. She was the only one actually scrapping in the hallway. I reckon she'd be the last one.
Also wrong. You guys are forgetting, man. The Hunger Games. This is about surviving out in the bush. Katie's been raised in African wilderness.
I thought that was the easy option.
Plus, like, the Hunger Games is all about people buying shit for you. Like, Regina George's mum would fucking do anything for her. She'd be sending in heaps of tribute.
Yeah, tribute. That's right.
And my final question is, if you two had to go back to school right now, which group of girls would the other one be hanging out with? That's right, take the piss out of each other.
Oh, Macho's definitely with the plastics.
How am I the plastic?
You wear pink on Wednesdays. You're only allowed to wear your hair up once.
Well, as long as I'm Regina. No, I wouldn't be Regina. I'd have to be Gretchen, I think.
Yeah, you'd definitely be Wieners. Yeah, you'd definitely be the Wieners
You'd be
girl.
Gretchen Wieners.
You'd definitely be Gretchen Wieners.
All right, Kahu, I had you in the sexually active band geeks.
I guess that's got a plus side.
Yeah.
Is it asexually active?
Asexually active. No, sexually active. I was tossed. It's between them and the unfriendly black hotties.
Oh. I could probably live with both of those groups.
Yeah, not bad
I
groups.
wouldn't mind being in the unfriendly black hotties. They seem pretty cool.
Just unfriendly.
just not very nice. All right, well, that moves it on to my 3 questions. So my first one is, we see Katie try to take down Regina using old school methods that worked in 2004. So how would you take down Regina in 2019?
Internet trolls from Russia. If you guys are listening, I want you to hack her emails and put it on WikiLeaks. If you're listening, Russia, if you're listening.
She's pretty into lacrosse now, eh? So I reckon you just drop the shoulder and take her out.
You reckon?
But that's
I reckon she'd smoke the fuck out of you,
yeah, she probably would. No, I reckon something like maybe switch the signs on the boys-girls showers after she's gone in, but just before the boys lacrosse team goes in.
Jesus,
so she gets super embarrassed.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not whatchamacallit going on.
You two have swapped, eh? You guys swapped brains on the way over
1
here.
minute in the sexually active band geeks and look, talking about gangbangs. Jeez, you've changed. Maybe we should have put you in the unfriendly black hotties. All right. Of the plastics, who is your favourite girl and why?
Karen.
Yeah, Karen? Why?
It's kind of self-explanatory.
She's got reindeer.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Karen. She's like the only one in there that's not like goes out of her way to be bitch and mean to people. Like Katie does. Gretchen Wieners is just a bit fucking of a head case, and Regina's just a bitch.
She's pretty mean to Gretchen. She's like, oh, God, I hate her. She's moaning, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but I say that shit about you guys all the time. I can associate with her. I've got boobs that tell me when it's raining as well, so...
I don't know. I don't really want to be any of them. I mean, maybe Katie, she kind of comes out. I mean, they all kind of come out okay in the end.
Not really.
One of them starts to play lacrosse. One starts doing the weather.
Yeah, see, that's it. I want to be a Weatherman.
Where does Gretchen end up?
I feel like she has a new group or something, doesn't she, at the end? And
Yeah, maybe she's the person to be. Maybe she kind of comes out of the shadow.
It's got to be Regina. She's the she's out there. She's she's just been herself, a real mean bitch.
But now she
hooking up with two different dudes, living her best life.
But now she takes out her meanness in lacrosse, so she hasn't actually changed. She just vents elsewhere.
And my last question is, what was the moral of this story?
This one's easy. It's if you are a complete and absolute arsehole to people, then pushing them in front of a fucking bus, it's okay as long as you apologise.
Yeah, I mean, the only moral of this movie is really that everything kind of turns out okay in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty loose moral, really.
And that moves us down to our final question, which is courtesy of Julio of the Contrarians podcast, and what he would like to know. Let's finish on a bang. What's your most controversial opinion about this film?
I kind of wonder if Janice getting together with the maths geek would have gone down a bit badly in today's climate. Just because the whole movie, it's kind of alluded to that she's a lesbian.
No, Lebanese.
Lebanese? What?
It's a line out of the movie code.
Oh, is it?
They even say, I'm a Lebanese.
Oh.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like lesbian. Anyway, yeah. That joke fell flat. Keep going.
yeah, I missed that one.
Thanks, Carl.
That would have made the movie for me. Yeah, I just think going through the movie, alluding that she's lesbian and her friend is gay as well, I just wonder if it would have been seen as a bit of a cop-out in the movie in today's climate. I don't know.
True.
I don't really have a view either way, but...
My one is that Rachel McAdams should stick to playing villains. Because she's a raving psychopath in The Notebook, and I actually really enjoy her character in that film. And she's a psychopath in this, and she's awesome in that. But then in, The Wedding Crashers, About Time, Doctor Strange, these other films that she pops up in, she's just not that memorable or noticeable. Whereas I love her as a villain. She fucking, honestly, and this is really controversial, I'd probably put this on my top 5, if not my top 3 villainesses of all time. It'd be like her, Catherine Trammell out of Basic Instinct, and Nurse Ratched out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Oh, no, Annie Wilkes out of Misery. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, whatever. Next. Machu, what do you got?
I've just got this as the best ever date film ever.
Really?
Yeah, perfect film to take any girl along to and sit beside and watch, except if her name's Stacey by the sounds of it. She just didn't get it.
I was about to say, Stacey Hurley would totally disagree.
Well, I just think this is, best ever date film.
What better than Human Centipede?
Oh, no, sorry, I take that back. The Skin I Live In is the best ever date film.
Eesh. Anywho, that takes us down to the end. And thank you to these guys for coming along and doing this film. Wasn't that bad, was it, Ko? Really? Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not going to rewatch this anytime soon. Yeah.
Really?
Maybe in 10 years' time, the three of us will get together, have a reunion, and watch Mean Girls. Or maybe we won't. I probably won't. You two, maybe. You guys are fangirling all over it.
Yeah. Oh, me and Machu are going to go hold hands and watch this together on the couch.
I'm going to go watch Mean Girls 2 next.
Yeah, go do each other's hair and, have a sleepover and maybe a pillow fight in our lingerie.
Write in your burn book.
Yeah, exactly.
Write bad things about me. I'm going now.
Good. What about you, Machu? You got anything else you want to add?
No, this is a good film. I enjoyed watching it, so suck it, internet.
Yes. Yes, agree. And that's about enough from me. As I've mentioned on previous episodes, we are coming up quickly to our 100th episode. That is starring these guys and a whole bunch of other people. That'll be up on our Patreon pretty soon. Between now and then, we have 2 more episodes to do. One of them will be episode 98, which is next week's episode, where me and the Contrarians do the Muppets. And then for episode 99, I've got something special planned, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. Anywho, that is thanks from me.
Chit.
See you all next time.
Now, what would she like to know, Kahu?
I think probably one of the opposition team's mathletes has probably gone showering the least.
What's the question, Kahu?
That was my deep philosophical debate. I think it just told it. I forgot about it.
Oh, god damn it. I'm going to use it now, even though Much has said it.
You just cut out that bit. All right, so my next question, I'm struggling to answer. What is this? Is this my question? So I've got like I don't have anything.